Hello, I am Jennifer Brewer with the Arkansas Behavior Support Specialist. Thank you for tuning in to our Behavior Breaks. I am excited to introduce you to the Positive Principal Referral Program utilized at Harrison Middle School in Harrison, Arkansas. I will be interviewing Trent Brewer, Assistant Principal at HMS. He developed and implemented this program at Harrison Middle School when he became one of the assistant principals. Before we get into the program, I want to give you a little demographic and background information about the school. Harrison Middle School consists of grades 5th through 8th. However, this program can be adapted and used for all grade levels. I have worked with another district's principal who implemented this program in his K-2 building, and their behavior team has discussed ways to adapt the program and move it up throughout the grade levels, including high school. Harrison Middle School currently has 822 students and approximately 100 staff members, which includes their head principal and 2 assistant principals. There are approximately 800 to 900 positive principal referrals awarded each year between the 4 grade levels at Harrison Middle School. So let's get started and learn more about this great program. Why did you develop the Positive Principal Referral Program to implement in your school?
Well, honestly, I knew myself well enough going into this job that I knew I could not handle the emotional toll of just discipline for referral after discipline referral after discipline referral all day long. And so I wanted to do something positive in my day. Plus, if you think about your classroom, for the 1 or 2 discipline referral kids you have sitting in there that make bad choices, you have 10 or 15 kids who are not making bad choices, who are doing the right thing, who are following your expectations. Also, I wanted to give students something to strive for. It doesn't take long. We're a 5-8 building. And so when 5th graders transition to our building, it doesn't take long for them to figure out what the positive principal referral is, what the bulletin board's about, how do I get on the bulletin board. Plus, we've been doing it so long now that we've had siblings and the younger siblings come to middle school knowing, hey, I want to get one of those. I've seen my brothers or my sisters on the refrigerator. I've heard my parents brag on my brother or my sister for what they did. And just as humans, I feel like too often we get bogged down with the negativity, with the one bad thing that happened in our day, and we fail to recognize all the wonderful things that happen in our days. Like I said, the 10 or 15 kids who are doing the right thing.
Awesome. I love that. Sometimes we often forget to focus on those that are doing the right thing because we are sending in so many discipline referrals or receiving so many discipline referrals.
Yes,
That's
and
awesome.
I like for teachers to provide corrective feedback to the student misbehaving by complimenting a child who is behaving appropriately. So if someone, let's just say, raising their hand, instead of saying, little Johnny, why didn't you raise your hand? You compliment little Susie, thank you, Susie, for raising your hand. I'll call on you now. And Johnny, even though you didn't speak to him directly, he's making the mental note, oh, she got called on because she raised her hand.
Awesome. So pointing out what they're doing right rather than what they're doing wrong. I like that. So how does the student receive a positive principal referral?
Well, any staff member in the building, and I truly mean staff member, it could be a cafeteria lady, a custodian, secretary, teacher, nurse, principal, counselor. If you're employed in the building and you see a child doing something you want to brag on them for, there are blank referrals sitting on the office and the counter. We put them in teachers' mailboxes periodically, just as a reminder to keep it fresh in their minds. And so any staff member in the building can see a kid doing the right thing. I've had some examples of opening the front door for people, or they see a spill in the cafeteria and some kid jumps in to help clean up the spill. There's really no act too small to recognize a kid for doing the right thing or jumping in and providing a helping hand. It can also be, a student who set a goal for themselves and they've talked to their teachers about, hey, I want to make my first A, or I want to make my first 100, or I want to improve my grade in math, or whatever it is. Then when that child attains that goal, then the teacher can recognize them. Just in this school year alone, I had a student who was written up twice in the first week of school for some disruptive behavior. That teacher, seeing him correct his behavior within a few days after that, gave him a positive principal referral, and it was for changing his behavior. So she used it to correct his behavior and incentivize him to continue making those good choices.
That's awesome. And I want to point out, at the time of this interview, we're in what, week 3 or 4 of school?
Week 4. Mm-hmm.
So that's awesome. And I like that it doesn't just have to be the student's classroom teacher. Any staff member in the building can catch that student doing something right. Because as we both know, sometimes the relationship that a student builds with an adult at the school isn't always necessarily their classroom teacher. So knowing that there's other people in the building that can recognize them and that they can relate to, that's awesome. So what happens when a student receives a positive principal referral?
Well, I've had several today. The teachers usually place them in my mailbox. I had about 8 in my mailbox this morning from yesterday. When I get a minute in my day, I call the student down to my office. I read the referral to them. I congratulate them. I let them choose a prize of their choice. I have 3 options right now. I have a Taco Bell coupon, a Dairy Queen coupon, or a Colton's. Dairy Queen and Colton's are just some local partnerships that I have, and Taco Bell always sends me an email once a year, and I order 1,000 Taco Bell coupons at the beginning of each year. So they get to pick their prize. Then we call their parent. I put them on speakerphone. The child says, "Hey, Mom, hi, Dad." And I read the referral to the parent. Parents are usually in the beginning kind of like, "Oh, what happened?" But then as I read, that you can, it sounds funny, but you can hear the smile on their face as I'm reading the good news about their student. I get their consent to post their picture on our social media. The student draws a number out of from 1 to 100 out of a fishbowl that I have, and we put it on the bingo board in the hallway, and then I take their picture and post it on social media. There are a few teachers who are very strategic about their positive principal referrals, and they will make sure that I'm available because that child they're going to make a referral for needs in the moment gratification. They need to be rewarded right away. They really want to correct the behavior. So that teacher in some cases will call me ahead of time like, "Hey, is now a good time? I'd like to send him or her right now." And if it is, then I'll say, yes, send them on down.
I like that, because when we're training different strategies, in my position, one thing we talk about is the immediacy and the impact that has on changing student behavior. So those teachers that recognize that they have particular students that they have to be very strategic about, and hey, I'm sending this in now. I need them recognized right now. That's awesome that they recognize some students need that more than others, and that they're putting that little extra into it. That's awesome. How did your teachers react to the program when you first implemented it? And what about now that you're beginning the 3rd year of this program?
Well, before I was assistant principal in this school, I was the counselor, and they know me as Mr. Positivity. I'm finding some way to positively recognize kids, to correct behavior, to more appropriate behavior. As a counselor, I wanted to focus on improving attendance, and so I made a positive program to do that. When I got this job, I don't think teachers were surprised. They were like, "Oh, well, here we go, another positive program from Mr. Brewer." There were some immediate like, "Oh, right, this is a great idea." Then there were some like, "Oh, great." You can see the eye rolls of, "Here we go, another thing to do." I will say those that were the immediate buy-in, of course, they started doing it right away. And then there was some, what I like to call positive peer pressure. I post the kids' pictures on social media. And so there's chatter among the kids of like, "Hey, Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so, how do I get one of those?" And so when a student asks their teacher, "How do I get a positive principal referral?" If you're a naysayer, you're like, well, maybe there's something to this if my students want to earn this. Also most of us are on social media too, and you see the likes on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter and the comments and congratulations and how excited parents get, and you want to have that for your students as well. So the naysayers get on board. The third year of the program, there's not any teacher who is not using the program. Some still to various levels of fidelity, like the example of the one teacher who calls me ahead of time and says, hey, he really needs this right now. Are you available? That's a teacher, I think, using it very strategically and with fidelity. And
students and the parents react when a positive principal referral has been awarded?
well, only one of our elementary buildings uses a positive principal referral, and they used it a few years ago, so I'm not sure how much they're still using it. So most of our parents and most of our students are new to it unless they've had siblings come through middle school. I love those phone calls where, usually we know of the kids who have misbehaved previously or had lots of write-ups in their elementary schools. And when I can change the phone call, I love those phone calls. I've had some parents say, what did he do now? What did she do now? And when I'm able to say, no, I'm calling about good news. I'm calling to brag on him or her. The change in the parent is amazing. And I think through that change and through those phone calls, when I do have to turn around to make a hard phone call, it's completely different from what it would have been. They know that I or the school are not just out to get their child, that we do recognize the positive things about them. And the same thing I did about 8 or 9 this morning. One smile in particular was just so happy. This was, as far as I know, this student is a transfer in. We've not had siblings, and his smile was just incredible. And so it really warmed my heart to see how genuinely happy he was to get his positive principal referral.
Right. And so you said earlier that the honest answer of the reason you started this was because you knew emotionally you couldn't handle the negative discipline all the time, and also implemented to correct student behavior. But as a bonus, you've built relationships between the school and the families, which sometimes is hard to do. So yes, this program is kind of encompassed all aspects of school as far as building positive relationships between all the different stakeholders.
And it's especially hard at the administrative level to have a reason to make those positive phone calls. But this gives me, I'd have to look back at the pictures I've taken so far, but I know for a fact that I have called probably 4 times as many positive phone calls this year as I have negative.
So these positive principal referrals excite kids and they have the goal. If they've earned one, can they earn another one?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they can. There is no limit to how many they can earn from the same teacher or different teachers. When this program first started, I did have a student who made it his goal, like every day, he would look around campus, what can I do today to earn one of those? Because I think he was externally motivated by the rewards, but it got a lot of trash cleaned up. There were several days where I would get positive principal referrals with, so Johnny picked up trash, and I'm talking like one little bitty wrapper, but he's like, hey, see me doing picking up the wrapper. And so you're going to have some of those, but yes, kids can earn as many as teachers want to give them.
That's awesome. Hey, and it kept little Johnny on track every day. So
right. Yeah.
So that's great. How do you think this has impacted the behavior overall in your school?
Well, I think the best answer to that is what I already said. I could get you the actual numbers, but I believe that my positive to negative parent phone calls so far in this school year is 4 times more positive than negative.
And you said earlier that if you have a student that had a sibling that's gone through, they already know about it. And so they come in thinking about it, trying to earn it. So they have that in the back of their mind. And I can only guess that positively impacts
Right.
behavior and the overall feel and culture of the school.
I don't have any sitting on my desk, but I try to make the positive principal referrals a high quality item because, as a parent myself, I want it to hang on the fridge. That's where all the great works of art from art class, or the great test scores, or in this case, the positive principal referrals, I want it to be fridge worthy. So I've made them nice on cardstock, and they get to hang them up and brag about it to their families as they come visit their homes.
In the materials, you will find a PDF version of the positive principal referral forms used at Harrison Middle School. There is also a Google Slide version of each template. Please feel free to use these as they are, or make a copy of the Google Slide versions and adapt as you need to for your school or district. If you have not viewed the materials yet, remember, you have access to positive principal referral form templates utilized by HMS. You will also find steps for awarding positive principal referrals to your students. Thank you again for tuning in to our behavior breaks, and a special thanks to Trent Brewer for taking the time to share with others about the positive principal referral implemented at Harrison Middle School. One more thing. Congratulations to all the students that have earned a positive principal referral.